Hey, Cassis Adobes, Pastor John here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the lesson for Sunday. And so we are talking about a story about people thinking they want something and not really understanding. It's about understanding things and trying to figure out what's going on. First story from the book of Samuel, we hear about the people in the land of Israel, and they want a king. Everybody else around them has kings. Egypt has a king. Assyria has a king. The Hittites have a king. Everybody got a king. We don't have a king, and we want a king. And so the ancient Israelites had a series of people they called judges, who were sort of people who were lifted up in times of crisis, and they became leaders. And so Samuel was one of them. And actually, I have a lovely book here on another person named Judith. She was one of the women leaders. And so they had these leaders that were sort of provided by God, and they worked with God and they worked with each other. And then they said, "We want a king." And Sam was like, "No, you don't want a king. You want a king? No, you don't want a king." "Yes, we do." And then Samuel names all of the terrible things that a king would do. And they say, "We still want one." So God says, "All right, let them have a king." And so we'll pick one. And so they pick one out. His name is Saul. And one of the reasons why they pick Saul, he's tall and good looking. And so later on, we'll see what happens. It wasn't a good idea. And they learn, they come to a new understanding. And so in the New Testament, we hear a story about a misunderstanding about who Jesus is. And everybody hears Jesus preaching, and they don't like what they hear because Jesus is preaching the truth. And they all say, "Oh, he's got a devil. He's got a devil in him. He's possessed." Jesus like, "All right, guys, if I'm the devil, um, would I be preaching against myself? Doesn't make sense. If you're doing something bad and you're saying bad things are wrong, it doesn't work. A house divided cannot stand. And so if I'm evil and I'm preaching against evil, how can that be?" And so they're like, "I don't know. Jesus is really messed up. And so we're going to call his family and have him come take him away." And so Jesus is there and he's preaching, and guess what? His family shows up, and everyone's like, "Okay, Jesus, your family's outside. They come to take you away, because we know that you're not quite right and you might need some help." And so they say, "Your mother and your brothers and sisters are all outside waiting to take you away." Jesus is very clever. He says, "Who is my mother? Who are my brothers? Who are my sisters?" And that's a good question. It's not that Jesus forgot who his family is. He's asking the people to think about it. Okay, here you're trying to use my family against me. And really, who are my brothers and sisters? Okay, so I have a family. I have family right here, and I love them very, very much. And I know who they are. But like Jesus, I need to think about bigger pictures. Who is my family? And the way Jesus is talking, look, here's my family. Whoop, there it is. Right there. There's my family right there. Okay, part of our church. And there's even bigger family. There's bigger family in the world. There's bigger family in the state, in the city, in the country, in the world. You know, there are people in Africa and Central America, South America, are my brothers and sisters that I am responsible to. So we're going to be talking about these misunderstandings and how to really look for God's way in all of this, and not just be bound by niceties and by what people expect. Everyone's got a king. We need a king. Everyone's got a family. We need a family. Okay? Broaden your picture. Yes, we love our families, and that's important. We need to take that love out into the world. Do something with it. Don't be a house divided. Be a house united. And that's what family is all about. So, of course, I want you to be safe. I want you to be well. And as always, be a blessing. And a quick reminder, Fun Day School will start at 11 o'clock this week. And we will be doing things in person, but you need reservations. So be sure to check out all the stuff that the church sends out, okay? All right. Be well. Peace.